What up, everybody? Well, I hope this isn't interrupted, but I'm here to make a video, hopefully short, and I need to take my Christmas thing down. But you probably couldn't hear me in that last video, and that's not because I'm sick. It's because I just have to be quiet. Well, hopefully you'll be able to hear me. Well, what I want to talk about is a number of things. I know my voice sounds a little lower, but that's because I was hoarse for a while. Wasn't severely ill, but it did delay me getting home by at least one day. So, just want to talk about that. What I want to talk about in this video, I want to say that I've been thinking of a lot of topics that I might want to discuss. And it really wouldn't bother me if my voice kind of stayed like this for a while. But perhaps I'll unbox a few more things that came in. But mostly I just want to get a few things out the way that I've been unable to talk about. One of them is how, I know, I'm just so sick of talking about Rugrats and everything to do with it. But I just don't owe anyone the benefit of the doubt about anything. Okay? There's one thing I've learned is that people lie about things. People lie to seem as flattering as possible. I also want to make videos while I have my nail polish. And one thing that has always disturbed me is an episode named Acorn Nuts and Diaper Butts. And first of all, the name of the show has always bothered me. Anything to do with diapers in the title, just uncalled for. But that episode, something about it just was always unsettling that I couldn't put my finger on, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like the show was a lot worse, not better. If I'm going to change what I believe about it, it's that it's worse than I thought it was. And I want nothing to do with their merchandise, nothing to do with the wearing of them on my clothes. But the one Acorn Nuts and Diaper Butts, I've been thinking about it, and I believe that the most disturbing thing about the show is the references to adults wearing diapers, both overtly and that went over kids' heads. Okay. So like you had Stewie, regarding Stewie, he puts on a cloth diaper. You had the cousin Bucky guy wearing a diaper. And in a deleted scene from the first movie, you would have had Dr. Lipshit, aptly named. Well, I believe that the reason why the diapers that the twins didn't like were so big and super absorbent is because they were intended for adults. And like I've stated before, no one can convince me otherwise when I believe something. I believe that they were bought for one or both of the adults to try, like their parents, maybe their dad. And in the devil family, rather than get rid of them, they put them on the twins, even though they were oversized because they were intended for adults. So there's nothing about the show that you could ever tell me to say that it's innocent or that I should reconsider watching it or wearing it, because I won't. I won't. Unapologetically, I think it's disgusting. And by the way, I do not understand, also these people needing to protect Lisa Simpson from someone sharing screenshots of her panties. I mean, who really cares about these stupid shows or the characters on them, that they weren't anywhere near as innocent as they wanted you to think they were, which they already didn't even try that. They dropped all pretense of being innocent pretty early on. So I have no obligation to give them a chance or to wear them, on my clothing, or to promote them in any way. And every chance I get, I'll tell people that they're not really, they're even worse than you could have ever imagined. And I don't think I'm going to care much about this new Sophia the First, because it appears to be very similar to the Rugrats reboot and not maintaining a lot of what was true in the original. So the only value that the show could ever have is more collectible dolls, and only if I want them. You know, as long as they do not make merchandise, you know, that I would like to have. I mean, what value could they really have in my life is the question. Yeah, if they're not making, you know, rare Barbie dolls, I mean, what do I care? So I'll go ahead and post this video.